Well, welcome to the Arabian Mountain National Heritage Area. I'm Revonda Cosby, its Executive Director. For the last 3 years, I've had an amazing opportunity to partner and meet people where they are. A National Heritage Area is significant in a few ways, and you're very familiar with all of them. It's the intersection of nature, history, and culture. And we all know something about all three of those. I happen to be sitting in the conference room at the Vaughters farmhouse in historic Lithonia, now known as Stonecrest, Georgia. And as a result of getting to do that, that means that somebody was here before me. And there was a farmer, his name was Mr. Vaughters. He had the wherewithal when he finished a day's work to drive across the street and say to the other half, I'm done. I've had enough. I'm gonna move on. But more importantly, he called some friends of ours, the Department of Natural Resource and the state of Georgia and the park system, and decided to form a relationship that has now delivered thousands of people for years to come, a dairy meadow that you can hike in, that you can learn what it was. You can open its barn doors that still stand. You can almost hear the cows. You can remember going on a field trip when you were in school, maybe seeing udders for the first time, doing something like this. And somebody said, this is how you get ice cream. This is where you get milk from. Brown cows eat green grass, make white milk. And things like that are still true. So the National Heritage Area is home to amazing stories of people and places and communities that were before all of us. And so for me, that matters. I like knowing who was here. It's also safe to say that these lands were occupied by Native Americans well before all of us got here. This is Creek Native American land and soil that we are sitting on, that I am standing on. I'm looking out at a window onto a meadow where not too many years ago, Native Americans roamed. There wasn't a paved road. You didn't see the USPS. You didn't put your flag up on your mailbox. You waited on neighbors. There wasn't any traffic. So this National Heritage Area is 40,000 acres, 3 counties, DeKalb, Henry, and Rockdale. 4.1 miles from where I'm sitting right now is the home to Flat Rock. Flat Rock. Just a little past that, you end up at another mountain, Panola Mountain State Park, a natural national landmark. If it were not for that, we would not be a National Heritage Area. To get a congressional designation, which we earned in 2006, it made us the 49th of then 55 National Heritage Areas across this country. Across this country. There are 3 in Georgia. Arabia got its designation in 2006. We stood on the backs of many people to do it. We collected stories. It helped to have 2 mountains, one 400 million years old, Arabia. Oh, it's just a good place to be. It's a significant place to be. Not just in this dispensation of time when things are very fluid in our country. I think fluid is a word, which means they're all moving at the same time. Nature, history, culture, students, grassroots-led movements, turmoil, chaos, war, high prices, inflation, politics, voting, not voting. But here's what we have in common. A shared past. What you do matters. It does really matter. You don't just end up with 40,000 acres, 2 mountains, a monastery, an African American museum. The first public school for blacks, Bruce Street, the Lithonia Negro School, as Miss Eileen Harper would have me say. That doesn't just happen. Another amazing place in the National Heritage Area, and you've heard me say it, and it's more than an acronym. Some of us, we get the first word wrong. So we say MOHS. That is the Monastery of the Holy Spirit, MOHS. And it's located in Conyers, that's Rockdale County. A stone's throw from here, a long time ago, men made a decision to live a monolithic life. And that's a commitment. That's a true commitment to service, to others. It's a selfless cause. But the good part is, in addition to their commitment, we get amazing gifts. We have acres and acres of land and structures, amazing feats. Coming from an engineer, the chapel, the church, all concrete, phenomenal. It alone begs for people that love old structures and like buildings to come just on that. And then when you get there and you pull in, the peace and the beauty of the region, the Abbey store, the honey, the honey in the Abbey store will make you come back over and over and over again. But what's more special than that are the people inside the buildings. The monks. The monks. African American, Caucasian, some almost 100 years old. I want to tell you about the Lithonia Women's Club. And women's clubs are all across the country, and it's no secret that women lead, women follow, women organize. Women obviously have children. I think it's safe to say that coming from me. I have a whole son. But women's clubs were known to organize for service, to bring up things that were important to us. In addition, we were a little sociable. We were known to put on a fine top as well bottom. We were known to adorn a good-looking shoe. And maybe even a hat. But we were more than just an outfit in our outer garment. We were there to talk about voting, worker rights, and our children. And our children. So the Lithonia Women's Club, located at 2654 Wiggin Street in historical Lithonia, was no different. It was home to the first library in DeKalb County. People thought enough of women organizers to partner with them and bring projects and ask them if they could do other things. Could you organize people to vote? Would you be willing to have a food pantry or lead a voter registration or a clothing drive? Or would you make sure that women that wanted to work had access to jobs and that they could get there safely and that they not be ridiculed in their communities for doing more than one thing at a time? Thank you to women everywhere, everywhere. Thank you for women that are on the rise. Thank you for young, bold girls. Thank you for girls that can't hear, girls that can't see. Thank you for amputees. Wherever you are, if you are a woman, thank you. Thank you, Lithonia, for such a place as the historic Lithonia Women's Club. Thank you, Don Massey Stewart. Thank you, Shamika Reynolds. Thank you, Maggie Woods. AWARE, A-W-A-R-E, is the Atlanta Wild Animal Rescue Effort. And so for a lot of people, casual observer, history buffs, nature buffs, wildlife animal lovers, we start by saying what is some of the wildlife in a National Heritage Area, particularly around Arabia Mountain. It will include owls. It will include turkey vultures, buzzards, skunks, possums, raccoons, beavers. Oh, I see the faces in the room. Let's go back to the possum. Possums do an amazing job in nature. They rid us of, namely, ticks. Whenever I now see certain wildlife, I have a complete understanding for why they're needed. Here in the National Heritage Area, at the base of Arabia Mountain, every Saturday and Sunday at 1 o'clock, the doctors and scientists and veterinarians and volunteers and the executive director bring those rehabbed animals onto the deck. And if you've never sat this close to a hawk, be ready. It's awesome. But aside from that, AWARE is an amazing foundation that's committed to saving wildlife, returning it to nature for its intended use. 2 things you can do to help. Learn more and volunteer, and decide instead of throwing that uneaten hamburger or piece of pizza or banana, for me, chicken bones, out the window, where wildlife comes to the edge to maybe try to get it and then get smashed. That's a simple way to stop. And you say, I could do that. I could just throw it in the trash. You could. Most animals, I'm willing to say all, do not thrive on McDonald's. So here's another tip. Let them be, you be. Let's all coexist. Check out AWARE. They're located right on Klondike Road every Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m. $0 associated with that experience. You can bring your family, whoever it is that wants to learn more about wildlife, come check them out. Greatness is a mark. It's on all of us. And National Heritage Areas put the focus on greatness. I'm proud to be a part of the Alliance of National Heritage Areas. 55 National Heritage Areas led by amazing people that are committed to chronicling the stories that were here before all of us. I invite you to come out and enjoy the National Heritage Area. What can you do in a National Heritage Area? You can hike, you can skate, you can bike, you can walk, you can pray, you can run, you can jump, you can fish, you can paddle, you can make movies. If you have a permit, you can fly your drone. You can take your family photo for your Christmas card. You can find yourself, you can reflect, you can walk your dog, you can just be grateful. You can just choose to be present. Thank you for showing up in the space. Thank you for learning a little bit more about what a National Heritage Area is. It's a geographical boundary, a collection of people committed to preserving, promoting, and protecting. Preserving, promoting, and protecting. We care about old structures. We care about neighborhoods. We care about how we got to be the way we are. That's what we have in common. National Heritage Areas represent millions of constituents, voters, students, scholars, disenfranchised. And we are delighted to do so. We get up every day excited to come to work. Like I'm excited right now. And I have a cool hat on. Thought I'd throw that in. But what happens is when we take the time to preserve and promote and protect spaces, we have places to come. We have 34 miles of a 10-foot wide trail system that runs through 2 mountains, from a historic city to the monastery, from Stone Mountain to Centennial Olympic Park. There is nothing that prevents or separates humans from coming in contact with nature, history, or culture. We are the National Heritage Area. Welcome to Arabia Mountain National Heritage Area in DeKalb County, in Stonecrest. We're excited to have you here. Small but mighty. Small but mighty.